can really mess your projects up in general.
Yeah.
Like you get into a low cap and you get in when Bitcoin's at a high, and then Bitcoin takes a tumble, that low cap gets smashed. The motivation behind the project goes to zero. The teams start like dropping out, and it just goes further and further down. And a lot of times they don't recover, and that's one of the main reasons I stay away from small caps.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And I just hit the record button too, so we're on air now because I feel like this conversation. It's just right now, like because what you said, I had to start recording. Like, oh, he spit some facts, so welcome to episode, I think it's 189 now. So I have the pleasure of having CryptoInsightUK on the podcast. You can see all of his socials behind him. I'm gonna link everything in the description. Welcome to the Cryptologic podcast. I'm honored to have you on all the way from the UK. So the second person from the UK, Leo, is the first. This is amazing. XRP family, we got another XRP general over here.
Here we go. Yeah, here we go, boys and girls.
We got another. For all you XRP haters, you're not gonna like this video. No, I'm just kidding. Dude, how are you, brother? How are you? I'm so grateful to have you on.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me on. To be honest, I think I followed you before you followed me. I just thought that.
Yeah, I noticed. I didn't even know, bro. I was like, oh shoot.
That's cool, bro. Yeah. No, the way you present content was really cool. And the information you're giving was really cool. Like you presented it in a bit of a different way to what I normally see. So I was like, yeah, this guy's cool, man. I like the content. And obviously part of the XRP family, but more the way that you delivered that content as well. There's a lot of people out there who obviously create content now, but you've got a bit of a different style. And I was like, yeah, this guy's cool. I want to speak to him.
Bro. I wanted to kind of stand out because I didn't want to like make it because I saw a lot of people, you know, like, and you've been in, how long have you been in content creation actually? Like a couple years? More than that?
I think I got into TikTok like January of last year, like maybe February of last year. So maybe just over a year.
Yeah. So you're like one of the early pioneers. That's why I told Leo, I was like, you guys are like the early pioneers of crypto TikTok. And literally developed a section on TikTok where if you're a crypto investor, financial literacy, motivation even, all you'll see is crypto and that type of content. You know how like I love how TikTok caters to what you like and what you view. And you guys are one of the original people that created that section on TikTok that is only crypto and financial news, etc. So it's like it's cool. I was like, oh, it's cool. And I started June of that year. So like 6 months after, and then that's when I kind of got on it. And I remember my goal was just to like, hey, I want to kind of stand out. How can I stand out? How can I don't want to pretend to be somebody I'm not. You know what I mean? And for me, I just wanted to just like, okay, can I just be me? Because I'm already kind of like, So I was like, let's just do it. You know, like, let's just do it. And it works. Everything works for everybody. Like you guys, the way you present content, Leo, Mason, blockchain, everybody, right? That just does crypto content. I just love how they're them. And I was like, okay, how do I be me without like copying you or copying anyone else? You know what I mean? That was like my thing.
Yeah, I think that authenticity is like a good formula for like longevity. Like I think people can come in and be someone different and you can pop off for a few videos. Yeah. But after a while, we start to see who the person is behind the camera, even if you're not trying to like relay that too much. Like, especially when you have to be consistent uploading content, which we are. Like, I think I try and average like 2 to 3 videos a day. Like, it's got less over the time I've done it. Yeah. Like at the start, I was doing 3 videos a day, every day, like without fail. And now I'll probably do like 1 to 5. Like some days, if more news comes out, I do like 5. And then if less, it's like 1. But I try and get at least 1 to 3 out a day. So you see the authenticity of somebody. So you've got to have your own style. And the way that could be anything from like the way that you present yourself on camera. Like I like the way that you do, the way you introduce your videos, like the way you use a hook at the start of a video to give some of the information out before you get into the main content. But for me, like I understand those things, but what I really try not to do is let the social media and the algorithmic side of social media dictate what I do for my content. So I just mix it up. If I see something I like, it's on there. Like I see a clip that I think is important, I just clip it and put it on my TikTok. Same with like, I'm trying to get into YouTube a bit more at the minute because I can get more of my opinion on there. Yeah,
so I comment on anything. I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, so like, I don't know. I just feel for me specifically with my content, I just put out stuff that I personally like, and then throughout my journey, I have gone through different phases where I've been like, okay, I need to do more for this to get more views. And then I think to myself, that leads to me like feeling like worse mentally over time, because it's not me, it's not authentic me. So I just try and present what I want to present, and I think that's super important for anyone getting into social media. That is, by the way.
Yeah, I have a lot of listeners that I think that are either trying to get in content creation or very, very curious about learning about other people's perspective of how they got into content creation. And I like how you said that you try and do a minimum of like 2 to 3, and then it's lowered over time to 1. And I remember for me personally, like when I started, I was like, okay, as long as I do at least 1 a day, that's 365 pieces of content in that year. And I know some days I'll have more, and maybe I'll have 1, or like sometimes Sundays I take off. I don't put any video out. And that's just for my, just to not have that stress of like, okay, what am I gonna do today? Like,
sure.
And I see your content. You're just like, you have the clips, like you said. You bring in facts, news, and it's something that I kind of like look up to. I'm like, oh, like it's not just one dimensional. You have so much different type of ways of putting information out there. So then I would like say, oh, to anyone that's starting out, there's no one way of doing things. There's obviously the common ground laws, which is like you said, the hook, the background, whatever. There's obviously you have to play a little bit of chess when you make content, but at the end of the day, you have to find out what works best for you where it doesn't make you stress out over making content. Like, I don't know if you feel stressed out making content, or did you just, oh, this one I want to talk about, cool, and how should I present it today? You know what I mean? Like, do you ever?
Yeah, like, but not always. It goes through, I think we talked about this a little bit just before we started. I feel like your journey goes a bit like this, like peaks and troughs, just like a chart would. Like, I think you go through periods of motivation, you go through periods of feeling less motivated, and that can be anything from like personal life to the amount of like interaction your posts are getting, even as far as like market price action. They kind of play hand in hand, like, because less retail investors are in the market, you get less views and the price action's low. They're the hardest parts to stay motivated. But at the same time, like, do you know what's hard is when you get to a point where you've been doing this content, I've been making this content for so long, like, where do I find fresh content from? Like, that's what I find sometimes. Wow. And then sometimes I wake up motivated and like, oh, okay, like, oh, I haven't talked about this for a while, let's link that in. But then sometimes I wake up and think, oh, I've already talked about that before, or have I talked about this? And I literally live crypto. Like, I do probably like 12 to 16 hours a day of like research / content / whatever, because I literally love it. But you've got to do that if you want to be a full-time creator, in my opinion. I think that over time you'll get found out if you don't put in the work. And like, I think I don't want to call myself an industry leader, because that's not what I think of myself. I just think that, like, to be the most on top of the news and everything, you've got to be putting in the time more than anybody else if you want to have the best platforms. And that's where,
and longevity, right?
Exactly that. And for it to be authentic longevity, because like anyone can go and pick up like Crypto Panic and read the headline and just read that out. But that only lasts for so long. Yeah, exactly. That's no fun. You don't know what's going on. Exactly. You need to have your own spin on it. You need to understand it, and then you need to understand what's happening going forward. Wow.
That was like something I thought about when that's why I named my Cryptologic, because I was like, oh, the logic. It's like, it's my logic. It's not anyone else's. It's like, it's not my fact. It's just my opinion, my logic. So when I present news, I don't just read it verbatim. This is what it is. I try and say my spin on it. This is what I think this means, and I try to connect dots. Oh, that's it. That's what I would advise to any up and coming content creator. Always make sure that you have your spin on it, right? Your own
that's it.
Narrative. They want to see the authentic, your thoughts. They want to see, what do you think about it? I don't want you to just read it to me. I could go online and read it myself. What do you think about it? And that's why people watch people who make content like on YouTube, podcasts. They want to hear what goes on in your head. So if we have the same article pulled up, you might think something different of it. I might think something different of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's also beautiful. Like your ability to extract that information as well. Like, if you're just reading like line after line after line, like, is that important? Or you're saying, which part of that's important and why is that important to you? So
paraphrase. It's called paraphrasing. You know, we learned that in high school. Exactly. Book report.
Yeah.
Break down what this book you read. What does it mean to you? That was what it was, a book report, right? That's all it was. That's all it is. But in 60 seconds instead of 6-page essay, it's 60 seconds.
Yeah, and say it in a way that people might find entertaining.
Yeah. That's XRP, man.
Yeah, that's hard, bro. Like I saw, I was like, yes.
I just said it one day. I was like, XRP family. Like I was like, I'd rather say that than XRP army because I feel like XRP army is like already kind of like mainstream. Let me build my own little thing over here, XRP family. Yeah, and you know what I've noticed? You own this hashtag. I don't know if you even know this, because I look at XRP hashtags all the time. I don't know if you know this, but there's an XRP community. You own the new XRP community.
Do I?
Yeah. So if I clicked on it, it's all your videos. I was like,
yeah.
I thought that you were doing the same thing I was doing, making your own hashtag and owning it because XRP family, put XRP family, it's all my videos. And then people started using
that, bro.
Yeah. And then the new XRP community is all yours. I was like, you did the same thing I did. Like, this is dope.
I didn't know that. Like, because when I first started, like, I read like an algorithm thing that said you need like two videos over two hashtags over 1 million, two under 1 million, and one of your own. And new XRP community was under 1 million when I first had it. It was like 10,000.
All you, bro. It's all you. For all my listeners, it's all CryptoInsight. It's all. And I was like, it has 10.5 million views. That's your hashtag. So you can that you could brand, you know what I'm saying, like new XRP community, and then you could just say why is it new? You know what I mean?
That's
and just come up with your own spin on it.
I've got hashtag CryptoInsightUK as well.
Oh yeah, that too. That's why
that's got 13.5 mil apparently as well. So I don't know how. Yeah, I know, bro. It's crazy.
People duetting and sharing and using it.
I don't know.
I love TikTok, but how that happens?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Like it makes you like it's mad to think about because. Like, I'm not that guy, bro. I'm just a guy who's enthusiastic about crypto and makes videos on it. And then, like, talking about this now, like, is the first real, like, recognition that I even give to it because I'm always, like, looking into the future. Oh, what's next? Like, where can I get to next? I don't really, like, stop and even look. I didn't know that about the new community thing. I did know about my
Now
own
you have another
hashtag,
one.
bro.
You have the CryptoInsight.
Yeah, that's hard, bro. That's sick.
Like, I was like, oh, that's every single video. I was like, oh, I started using it too. I was like, I'm going to start using it too because it's good. People are searching it. People are looking into it. So I'm like, people like the word new, you know, because it's an extra community, but they see the word new in front of it. Okay, why is it new? And then they go down rabbit holes. And I saw that you said you have CryptoInsight. I just started the Cryptologic hashtag for myself. That one only has like 72,000 views, but I just started it. So I'm like, all right, that's how it grows. You know what I mean? And then that content lives on there forever as long as TikTok stays relevant or whatever. It's on there forever, and it's a documentary. So like in 10 years, you're gonna look back and say, I was right. XRP.
Yeah, that's
87
crazy,
cents.
Bro. Like
XRP's at $10.
I've got another story like that, bro. To be fair, I don't know what you know about my journey. In fact,
tell me about your story. Yeah, tell me about your story.
So, I first learned about crypto in like 2016, 17. I'm an ex-competitive Call of Duty player. I played a lot of like gaming throughout my time, and got to a good standard at it. Played for money, went to LANs, those sorts of things. And in 2017-ish, we were playing like wagers, like you play online against someone else for money, and Bitcoin, like when I first heard about it, they were like, oh, players for Bitcoin. It was like kind of like, I think that they were using it as a flex, like as little like geeks, or like 10 years ago. So I'm like 28 now. Oh, not 20 years ago, like 6-7 years ago.
I'm 28 too.
Nice. Yeah. I just finished uni, playing around with like different techs and stuff like that. And then they're like, oh yeah, let's play for Bitcoin. It wasn't worth much at the time, like few $100 maybe up to $1,000-ish. I can't remember, but we didn't play for like a whole Bitcoin anyway. We're just playing for like segments of it. And they had like an escrow system, so you could lock it into an escrow, and then whoever won like took the Bitcoin. So it was quite complex. So it felt like quite a cool thing at the time. And then I held a bit, and then I looked into it, and I was like, oh, okay, the tech's cool. Like I understand what's going on here. Like and the way that I used to interpret it in my head, it's just like an internet money. That's what I used to think to myself. Like it was all like stuff about the Silk Road and stuff like that was before. I don't know whether that was before at the time, but it was like really resonating in my head, and it was like that's what Bitcoin's used for, like illicit activities at the time.
Oh, me too. That's what I thought too. That it was the dark web.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I thought. I was like, oh, cool. Like I feel like a bit of a rebel, like a tech geek. Like I've got access into this world if I want to use it. All this sort of stuff. And so I had maybe like $1,000 to $2,000 in there. Like it was a lot of money for me at the time, but like nothing compared to my what my value is now. But at the time, like I ran through that 2017 bull run, bro, and I went up 10x, 10, 15x. Like I bought some other cryptos. I bought some like Litecoin throughout the run. Litecoin was popping off. I jumped in on it and it like 5x'd in a day. Like,
what?
And I swear. And I was like, whoa, this is insane. Like, I thought I was like Mark Cuban. I was like the best investor ever. Like, I'm going to be a millionaire. That's what I was thinking to myself. I remember I was at work. Like, I worked at a little cafe. I was saving up money to go traveling. I had a small little company that I ran on the side as well, like a side hustle sort of company. And I was saving up and I was looking at my crypto portfolio. I was like, I don't need any of this, bro. Like, I'm like flying. And then I took probably my initial investment out, but I initially invested like probably $200-300, got it up to probably like $10,000. Yeah. And then all the way back down, bro. All the way back down to zero. Like not to zero, but
2016?
to 200 or 300. Yeah, 2016, yeah. All the way down to zero, rode it all the way back down the same way. And I was like, oh, okay, like it's just like, it was just some hype cycle, some scam. Like it's not really anything. That's what I thought to myself. Fast forward to 2020 of November, and I'm super low. Like had loads of things going on in my life, like personally in a really low place, feeling like very depressed and almost not even wanting to be on the planet anymore. That's the position that I'm in, like the lowest I've ever been in my life. Like, and this is one of the things I want to start after crypto is something to do with mental health, but I was so low. And then I listened to Raoul Pal talk to Anthony Pompliano about Bitcoin. And I was like, this guy's cracked. That's what I was thinking. Like Raoul Pal, like he knows, like the way that he presents himself and like what he's talking about, he's so smart. And then I was thinking, but like your actual fundamental understanding of Bitcoin, I think I've got a better understanding than that you're like portraying at the minute, is what I was thinking to myself. And I listened to some more Raoul Pal videos, and the way that he talks about economics is obviously mad. And I was like, well, okay, this is insane. Like this guy's so cool. And I was like, okay, well, if he's that smart and he knows that much about like macroeconomics and his fundamental understanding of crypto maybe isn't as good as mine, maybe I should just create some content on it. And I just created a few videos about different crypto, about TA, about XRP, because I started looking into it. Oh, I've missed a fundamental part of this story. I actually went to a house party in 2018 when I knew about Bitcoin, and I was a Bitcoin maxi, like completely, like even though I wasn't holding it anymore, really, I was
Bitcoin's the future, bro.
100%. I was like, and this guy at this party, honestly, he sat next to me on the sofa, sat next to me for an hour, and he just talked to me about XRP, and I was doing the standard thing. Shut up, man. The market cap's never going to take it anywhere. Like it's not possible. Like all this sort of stuff. And then a few years later, like when in that November sort of time, when I started like reinvesting back into Bitcoin, I was like, well, let's have a look at the other techs. What's still about from the 2017 bull run? Looked into them, and I started that like scaling downwards from there and diversifying my portfolio, and then looking more in depth at different things. I was like, looked into XRP, and oh my God, like fell down that rabbit hole completely. Did like 2 or 3 months solid, like every day, just digging into everything about it. And I was like, yo, this is the one.
Yeah, same here.
Same with TA and everything. Like, okay, even cyclically, like I can see that's going to move last. So what I'm going to do is get like a portfolio of about 20 different cryptos, have low take profits for those, and cycle it into XRP for their end of season run, hopefully, which I'm still waiting for, obviously. But
lawsuit. Over?
Yeah, that's it, bro. And then that's the thought process. And then so I start making some content. Somehow, insanely, a ton of events. Some things that I started to do, like meditate, all this sort of stuff, like changing my life. And then go for YouTube, like create YouTube. Raoul Pal comes on as my first podcast guest.
No way.
Yeah,
so that's
bro,
like a
honestly.
full circle event for you, because he was
100%.
the first person that made you gravitate towards crypto full time, and you got him on the podcast.
Yeah, got him on my first podcast.
That's amazing, because I kind of had that same thing happen to me with Coach JV.
Oh yeah,
I had Coach JV on the podcast last
year,
and I remember when in 2020 during the pandemic, I was watching his content and I was lost. Like I was just lost, and he was the one that taught me about the subconscious mind. Are you familiar? You're familiar with his content, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I've had him on my podcast as well.
You did too?
Yeah.
Oh, he's dope, bro. He's amazing.
He's sick, bro.
And I was able to talk to him, and I said, hey, brother, you are the one that pulled me into XRP and made me deep dive into it, and got me got me motivated to continue on with being like, I thought it was over for me because, you know, turning 30, I was like, oh, I know that trap, like by 30, if you want to figure it out, it's gonna be hard to get a job. And I was like, nah, you know, and he was one that motivated me I found my thing. That's amazing. It's like a similar story, kind of.
Yeah, that's super.
The full
that's super
circle
important
moment.
there. Yeah, for sure. But then actually, it got a bit more blessed than that because Raul didn't know like loads about XRP, and he didn't even know that I was mainly XRP anyway. And I like jokingly, after we'd finished recording, I was just chatting to him after for a little bit, obviously like still starstruck. And I was like, oh, I'll write you an article on XRP and like, and see if you like it. And I ended up doing that and then sent it to him. He didn't even expect it. I was like, hey man, like, thank you for your time. And to say thank you, like I have written you an in-depth article on XRP. It's like 21 pages. And then he was like, this is perfect. Love the article. Would you mind if I published it to my like global macro investor, which is like goes out to like countries, like hedge funds, sovereign funds, banks, central banks. And then like I looked into it, I didn't even know anything about it, never heard of it. And it's like $40,000 a year subscription if you want to be subscribed. So it's like for the top boys.
What?
And then he ended up publishing it. Yeah.
To your article that you wrote on XRP.
Yeah, and I've got it framed on my wall over there. Look.
And he was like, "This is beautiful. Let me put this into my investors or whatever subscribers." Wow,
that's it. There.
You just talked about the history of XRP and what's going on.
Yeah, just I gave like it's literally an overview of the whole like of XRP in general.
Okay.
Start talking about like what it is, like fundamentals, those sorts of things. Give like a up to date cycle of what had been going on with it, like lawsuit wise. It was published in June of last year, and then like price predictions, flare networks, those sorts of things, and speculation on where it could go in the future. So
that's amazing.
So yeah, it's a bit of a mad one, really, isn't it? So yeah. I don't know, like
you're like tied to the hip hop with XRP, huh? Like yeah, it's done so much for you, you know, like your content creation, your networking, and being able to continue taking you places where when you're in your 30s, you're gonna go look back and go, man, what a ride.
I hope so.
I love that you have the logo, the Ripple logo. It's amazing.
Yeah, I didn't make that. Like one of my followers made it for me when I had like 2,000 followers, and I just like thought, oh, it's cool, man. And it's got like the inside the Ripple logo. There's like the Federal Reserves inside there. I don't know if you can quite see it. Yeah, it's sick.
That's amazing.
So I just never changed it.
Artwork, man. Like there's people out. That's one thing I love about crypto and NFTs is that people like that probably hand drew that or create that can make their art be known and be their own business because they just let their mark go out as NFTs. It's just learning about it. You just gotta learn about NFTs and how to successfully launch a project with a community and everything like that, and you'll succeed. It's like the new music, like an artist, right? Musician. If you know how to make music and you think you could sing or you could rhyme or whatever, back then obviously it was so hard to like break out. You had to find a label. Now you just drop your content on TikTok, on SoundCloud or whatever, and you build a community. NFT is a new thing for artists, for sure. Artistic people, tattoo artists, the doodlers, the drawers that always can draw so well. They can actually somehow now, like, oh, I don't have to paint like a beautiful picture and get an art gallery. I can just drop an NFT collection.
Yeah, that's it.
It's just, but the strategy behind it. But that's like how I think about life. As long as you have a plan or a strategize your end goal, you'll get there. Whether it's content creation, NFTs, music. It's just crazy how life like works if you just kind of put your mind to it, like you did. You know, you saw the future in 2016, 2017, going 2018, and so forth.
I think you're completely right. And I think that's changed for me over time. Like I don't think I ever really believed that for a while. Like when I was in that low period that I talked to you about. Yeah. Before that, like my whole life, I just tried to fit in or be cool or try and be like what people are like and search for validation all the time. Like, and I wasn't being authentic. I wasn't being myself. But when I got that low, I was just like, am I allowed to swear on it?
Oh yeah.
I was just like, oh fuck it. Then I'm already low, so fuck it. I may as well just be myself.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I started being myself, bro, now everyone wants to talk to me. It's mad. It's actually mad that full flip of just be authentic. be authentic, and people are either gonna like it or they're not. And if they don't like
that's
it,
the way you want to
if
have
they do
it.
like it, let's go, bro. Yeah,
that's the way you want to have it. It's the cliche thing to say is be authentic, because you know it's funny, make a joke. It's like you're pretending to be someone and like someone, and then you're around that person, and you're someone, you're acting like someone else that you're trying to cater to this person. Yeah. And it's like you forget who you are. You're like pretending to be someone else. Like, wait a minute, I thought you were acting like this. Why are you acting like oh, wrong person? And you switch. You're like a chameleon.
Yeah, that's it, bro.
It's like
that's
you
it.
forget who you're supposed to be around 100%. The wrong crowd, and they're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, you've just got to be you, man. And like,
it's too much
embrace
thinking.
That.
Like, okay, I'm hanging out with these guys, these people today. I gotta act like this. All right.
Yeah, and do you know something is important?
People that do that.
Like,
people that
do that.
From
that, but like taking that into this space, something that's important is like, don't worry about being wrong either. Like this space is new. Like if you're learning shit, give your own opinion. If you're wrong, like be like, oh, okay, yeah, I was wrong, and like understand why and learn about something else. But like loads of people get scared about reporting on stuff or creating content because they might not know as much as the next person. Like I don't know as much as like what a dev would know, like nowhere near. So I presume sometimes I've given out information that might not be completely right, but it's my understanding of it, and that's the way that you've got to transmit that, I think.
And that's the truth, you know. Like this, just if you're wrong, it's okay, and then it's recorded, it's on the cyber web, whatever, it's out there. People always can go back and fact check. No one's 100% right all the time when it comes to anything in life. You know, if I was, and you'd be like, I'd be taking bets. You know what I mean? Like, here, bet. Like, you know, it's just how life is. You know, sometimes people don't like what they hear. It's not what they want to hear. Even if you say something negative, people call it FUD. It's like the easy thing to throw at people if you're saying something truthful and it comes out as negative to somebody. You know, and that's why, like, I want to start talking about XRP, because you've been in this very longer than me, way longer than a lot of people that are listening to this, right? In regards of 90 people that don't even make content or thinking about it. You've seen it all. And I want to ask you something. Have you noticed this year, for some reason, there's more people speaking up against XRP, and especially like it's a lot of content creators too that are either newer to the space, that are just not new to the space, but like new to content creation. And I feel like it happens every year. Why are they so outspoken about XRP? Why are they so against the army or the family or whatever, the community, the new XRP community?
Well, I think there's a few, the new XRP community, hashtag new XRP community. Yeah. Like I think there's a few reasons for it. I think that one, people who hold XRP are quite like married to it. Like including myself. Like I wouldn't say I'm a maxi, but I would say that I am married to it, but just because I spend so much time in there, and I do genuinely believe. Yeah, I'll defend it. I believe what I say. Yeah. So that's the first one. And it gets a lot of passionate, like there's a lot of passion behind it, so it gets a lot of clicks. If you put something negative out about
negative
XRP
or positive,
you're getting clicks on that. So I think that's the first thing. And then fundamentally, though, I don't think many understand it. I don't think a lot of people understand it to a fundamental level. I think they automatically have blinkers on against it because there's a corporation guiding the escrow and they don't look into what that actually means. I think that's a positive for any kind of cryptocurrency, but it does go against the ethos of the initial idea of crypto, that it's going to be decentralized. But again, the ledger is decentralized, and as is the token. Like they don't own the tokens that you've got in your wallet or anything like that. They can't make more or anything.
They can't take it away from you.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I mean. They don't really understand it. So that comes from the first like step you take into the space. You almost get told that XRP is bad, just like I did. Like I took a step into space. I'm holding Bitcoin. My initial reaction, because of what I've seen from everybody else, is saying XRP is never going to do anything because the market cap and it's centralized, and then that's it, and they turn it off, and then they see some news and they try and link it into that narrative, and then they can just report on it, and they also know that it gets views. So I feel like it's lack of research as much as anything. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm right or wrong because we don't know. Only time will tell. But I feel like to create that like narrative without having like the right amount of research behind it, like it already shows that you haven't got that much knowledge in the space in general. Like, because I'd say that there are projects I do like, projects that I don't like, but I never just throw FUD at something unless there's something really obvious that I can talk about. I don't like FUD and stuff anyway. Like I don't really do that. I always big up most projects. Like even with this like ETH and the XRP lawsuit and Ethereum specifically.
Yeah,
I
JP
don't want
Morgan.
ETH to go down. Yeah, but I don't want ETH to go down. I want the space to decide. Like, even if they're doing dodgy things behind closed doors, corporations doing whatever corporations do. I want the space to decide if they're going to be a winner. Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I've noticed. I'm like, man, like half the time I'm like thinking, I'm like, all right, are people trying to just talk bad about XRP for clicks or clickbait? And I'm like, that's not. And I try and tell people like, man, that's like not the way you want to. I get it. You can poke fun at it or whatever, whether you like XRP or you don't. But you don't want to build your reputation on via content creation just being that's someone that's just bashing a token just because it's getting you views. Like what? That's no value in that. Otherwise, other than the people that actually hate the token too. Yeah. See, I got another content creator talking crap about XRP. It's just, it's like I understand like being in the middle doesn't get that many views or clicks, but I guess if you truly don't like the project, then I guess that's fine, right? Because that's how you really believe what you really believe. But then if you really believe in the project and you're over here talking about it because you negative about it because you know that it gets more clicks, like that's not being authentic, you know. And that's just me. That's just me saying, hey. Like, to each their own. You do whatever you want, but I don't know if it's just me, but I've been seeing that a lot. Like, last year, it was legit. Like, you could feel the hate when people were talking about XRP, and then you could feel the people that love. It was, like, so, like, oh, now it's like, I feel like now I don't know what's real. Like, do you really hate XRP, or do you even like XRP when they make good positive content about it, and then when they make negative, it's just it's kind of fugazi, whatever. Now, what is real, what's not. So I said, you know what? I'm not even worried about it anymore. I'm gonna get so outlandishly crazy. XRP family. So people know I love XRP, and I'm like, that's how I thought about. I'm gonna stand out because before I used to go XRP family, I just be kind of general. You know, now I'm like, I love XRP.
Yeah, I love that, bro. I love that.
But
grabs the attention.
What do you think about the lawsuit, and what are your like thoughts about it ending in April? Like, you know, I've predicted April, May. Some people are saying September, end of the year, 2023. What do you think about it? Have you, you know, I know everyone has their own research about the lawsuit from beginning to end.
Yeah, I think it massively depends on what happens with these emails from William Hinman. What Judge Netburn's going to come out and say about them,
and if they're redacted, right? If the SEC redacts,
I think that if they are redacted, though, I think that Ripple still get to see them. I just don't think it gets shown to the public. Yeah. So it depends what comes out with them. Like if we get that settlement time, in my opinion, they'll probably appeal it, and that'll probably delay the case. But we're also waiting on like fair notice, and I'm not sure when that is because I know that they like obviously got the motion to strike, like the judge dismissed that motion. That's the SEC. We're trying to get rid of that, and then the judge said no, basically. So I don't know when that comes in. That's something I really don't know. But I know that I'm pretty sure today that I've seen they filed for summary judgment as September the 21st. So everything's got to happen before summary judgment.
Yes.
So we've got to if we get these emails, they'll probably settle. If we get that fair notice will come before that as well at some point. So we're basically just waiting to see what's happening in the next
wait and see
2-3 months. Like we could at any point get a settlement is at that point in the case. I think I'm not sure exactly on Discovery because it was my understanding that Discovery had finished in like the end of February.
Yeah, I think it was they extended that from the I don't know if it's January 14th, but I think it was February. They extended that, and then that's when we went on to the SEC trying to strike the fair notice, and then that was pushed back. Like no, they can use the fair notice defense, and then something about April. I forgot what date it was. April something where Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse have to file a response to something. It's like top of my head, it's like fuzzy because I remember reading it, but that after that we're waiting to see. If the basically the most recent thing was the SEC was saying, well, there's some parts of the email that shouldn't be used. So
I think that what you're talking about from Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson's in regards to their like personal like suit, and then in regards to the Discovery, like we were just saying, end of February. But like from what I'm seeing recently, and maybe I got my understanding wrong in the first place, was I think it's just Expert Discovery that finished in the end of February, which I mean,
yes, I think that was it. Expert Discovery,
Yeah,
I
so I
guess
think
no
there
new
is still
information can be brought in.
I don't know, because I think Jeremy Hogan then talked about saying discovery was nearly finished, or there was some kind of extension, but I always get confused as to whether they're talking about for
Yeah.
the individual defendants or
Yeah.
for the Ripple case in general. So, but we know that it is coming to a close. We know that we're waiting for the judge. The main takeaways for me at the minute are we're just waiting for the judge's decision on these emails.
Yeah.
The Estabrook notes for the Brad Garden House deposition, I don't think they're that big. Like, we already obviously know what was said, because you don't even need the notes to prove that. The SEC won't be trying to block that. So that's pretty obvious. It's just what's in these emails and whether we get them. And I think we will get, not we as a public, but I think we as in Ripple will get access to those emails. And I think if they do, then
it's over.
It's GG's.
It always has to, GG. I always it's GG. it's always goes back to, if the fact that William Hinman and the word Ethereum is in the email, and the word not a security. Those 4 words, Ethereum, not a security, somewhere in there, it's over.
Yeah, but it goes deeper than that, bro. Like, there's a very high chance.
The whole conspiracy of, oh man, like the whole thing. I remember I deep dove into it, where they spoke with this law firm or something like that.
Yeah, Simpson Thatcher.
Yes, Thatcher. And then it was like, how do we articulate our words with Ethereum to make it not come bite us in the butt later on in the future?
Yeah,
like it was so crazy, where I'm like, this really happened. And then supposedly it's an opinion. You know, it's we all know, XRP holders that do the research know this thing is gonna look really bad for the SEC, depending on what's in those emails and what comes out. Where Ripple's, the judge is like, what?
There's 53 emails, and in those emails, I think there's something like 50 drafts of the speech. So they changed it that many times.
Oh my goodness!
But the absolute smoking gun that we're looking for, and the Ripple lawyer, I forgot what his name is off the top of my head right now. No, it's not going to come to me. It's like Matt Solomon. He basically said in his last thing that he wrote, that there's a potential in this email chain that they say XRP is not a security.
That too. Yeah.
Imagine they've said that.
Now it's
chain.
like, why are you now? They just shot themselves in the foot.
In 2018, 2 years before, or 1 year before they filed
and that helps the fair notice defense.
Oh, bro, that's
because
done.
It's like, that's you should. We asked you. Remember when the emails came out a couple weeks ago?
Yeah,
we sent 2. The first time they said, hey, they might come after you after this. Okay, they revised it, and actually didn't say anything for years.
Yeah, that was
now
way back
it's like,
when.
oh, you want to say it's not, and then now you want to say it is, and then
exactly.
Jay Clayton wants to leave and go advise for Ethereum.
Yeah, I know. It's like how can like one company say, how can they say, okay, it's obviously a security, and then in 2018 potentially, when he's writing for a speech of like potential guidance, say in that email chain, XRP is not a security, but 1 year later it obviously has been for the last 7 years. Like, it's the most ridiculous thing ever. And I don't like to get into the conspiracy of it, because I don't like to play that game. I don't. But oh my God, like, what is going on?
And the funny thing is that in regards of the settlement, Ripple can easily pay the fine or whatever it is that they want. They want the money that they $3 billion. Ripple can easily pay that. It's the fact that, hey, are we going to be labeled a security or not security? And remember, Brad Garlinghouse said they will not settle if the word security is attached to XRP. It has to be, the settlement will only be confirmed or done is if the SEC says, okay, you guys aren't a security. Then I guarantee Ripple have no problem paying and moving on, slapping the wrist and moving on. But the SEC is, I don't know what the heck its agenda is. I don't know. I feel like it's by design, by greater powers, like money, right? Like up there, the man or whatever you want to call it, and around the world, the global elites. It's like, what does this, like, I'm trying to think from the SEC, like, why are they so hell bent on making XRP security? You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like,
yeah, I didn't get it. I think initially they just thought it'd be a quick fine. See you later. Like,
because everything else was.
Yeah,
everything else was.
Yeah, if you look at
Uniswap,
that's actually
Coinbase.
Yeah,
you better not launch anything.
Yeah, those.
Was it Monero one?
Just know off the top of my head, it's like EOS and Kick Token or King
there's
token.
been a lot the last year. I think Tether too. They were coming after Tether, I think.
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
And then
but if you look at those, so if you look at EOS specifically, I think their fine was for 100 mil, but then they actually only paid 1 million. So they pay it like straight away, but they paid like $1 million. So it's like, oh, we'll just settle for like $1 million. Here's $1 million. So I think that's what they thought would happen with Ripple. But Ripple were like, yo, we've actually been coming to meet you for like how many years? 8 years, and you're just gonna just slap a lawsuit on us for no reason. We're coming to meet you for 8 years, so no, we're not going to settle with you. We're not going to settle with you. And I think that obviously the case was for more with Ripple. I think it's like 1.8 billion or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Altogether, so
so Ripple can easily pay that, you know, and it's just crazy. It's crazy how I type in SEC crypto lawsuit. It's all Ripple. It's all Ripple. That's like the biggest news. It's Ripple. I didn't even type XRP in. It's all Ripple. It's like the big.
But like EO's settlement in there, and I think it would tell you like how much the case was for and how much it got settled for in the end.
Here.
I don't know.
SEC orders blockchain company to pay 24 million penalty for unregistered ICO.
Yeah,
but I don't know. This it's block 1.
I don't know if that's.
This is block 1.
I don't know if that's actually what they paid. That was it. The fine was something for like 100, and they pay like 20 or something like that.
This is for block 1, different company.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to figure out like where's that list that showed all the lawsuits right here. Oh, it was the same thing then. 24 million. Yeah, EOS maker block 1.
Yeah, look. So they say they've raised 4.1 billion.
They paid,
and then they only paid 24 mil. They're like, oh yeah, okay, you should pay a fine on $4.1 billion, but then they end up paying 24 mil. That's like 5%, is it?
Wow.
It's not even 5%. It's like 0.5%.
Yeah, it's like nothing. Here you go.
Yeah, that's mad. So if Ripple did the same thing, they're only 1.8 billion at Ripple, and then 0.5% of that is like what?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
That's why I'm like thinking, but I think that Ripple doesn't want to have that the lawsuit word attached to them. Yeah,
exactly. So it's just mad. I think they just overstepped the mark a little bit, and they think they were going to fight it back.
I guess they did. I don't think they did either. I thought that it was gonna be. They thought that it was gonna be a quick settlement. All right, they're gonna pay. They're scared, but Ripple's like, no, we didn't do anything wrong. We're gonna fight.
Yeah, exactly that.
Man, I can't find that thing. I should have looked it up, but I wanted to see a list of all the lawsuits that the SEC was involved in. You know, like there's a list of them. There's like a bunch of them. I remember Coach JV. Shout out Coach JV. He pulled it up one time.
They're in with like library and stuff at the minute, aren't they?
Yeah, I have to like go to their right here. But I don't know if this is like all crypto. But yeah, it's a lot of them, and you can see that this one settled, that one settled, this one settled, this one settled, and I'm like, dang, XRP and Ripple. I mean, Ripple is just defending the hell out of XRP. They're fighting to the end. But I think because they truly know that what they did was not what the SEC is claiming that they did, knowing what they did was wrong, because that's what the SEC is saying. Mm-hmm. You knew these were securities and you still offered them for funding to, what a security is. You gave something with the thought of it eventually blooming, and you getting rewarded. Not registering that with the SEC means that you did it illegally. But
100%.
But it's 100%. Like even Crypto Mom says, like, a crypto, how is it built as utility? Without having an ICO, like, and that's why she was proposing like what is that grace period? Ethereum did the same thing.
That's what Hester Pierce was trying to
propose. Hester Pierce, I know it's Crypto Mom. I couldn't think of the name. I remember.
Yes, it's a hard one. I think that like the space is obviously so new. I just think that I don't think you can kind of go after any company if you don't have any sort of strict regulation in place. There's no way. Like, I don't understand how that's even a thing. I don't really understand American law, or I understand it way more now. I understand it more now than I used to. Yeah. But like, it just makes no sense. Like, what? Like, where's the logic there? And then but now, like, it's been a complete 180.
Corruption, money.
Yeah, 100%. It's all about money. It's more all about money than I thought it was, which makes me feel sad as well.
Growing up, we don't know anything. Like, meaning growing up, I didn't know anything. I didn't realize BlackRock, that type. Being into crypto opened my eyes to that. Yeah, BlackRock owns damn near the whole world.
Yeah, exactly.
Partnered with Alibaba, which is China's Amazon, AliExpress or whatever. Alibaba, actually. Yeah. But like, when you start realizing, like, going down rabbit holes, I'm like, whoa, this whole thing is bigger than what I thought in America, right? It's the whole global. And it's funny, this lawsuit is literally, the Ripple lawsuit is just for the U.S.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like the biggest thing ever. I'm like, Ripple doesn't even need the U.S. to survive.
It's just because the equities market is so big in the US. It's like 52% of the world's equities market, and like everyone's eyes are on the US. Obviously, it's a massive economic powerhouse.
What the US does,
yeah, that's it.
Follows suits in a sense.
For sure, at least in a way. But like, if they're not going to do anything like too ridiculous now anyway, because they're kind of on the back foot anyway. But pardon me, going back to Alibaba.
Yeah, right. They're linked with BlackRock and I forgot which another one. It was a couple other.
Do you want to know something mad about Ali? What's up? So Alibaba use Alipay. And Alipay, WeChat use WeChat Pay. So they're the two biggest like payment networks in China, and they take like 93% of Chinese volume of payments, which is $27 trillion a year. And they're both partnered with Tranglo, who Ripple 40% of.
No way.
So they've got, so it's $27 trillion go through WeChat Pay or Alipay. So that's like 93% of the Chinese remittance market, and they're partnered with Tranglo. If you go on Tranglo's website, they're both on the front page of partners.
Oh, check it out.
And Ripple holds 40%. 40% stake hold in Tranglo.
I love making content about Tranglo.
Yeah, it's mad, bro. Yeah, go on Tranglo and then go partners. Go like tranglo.partners or tranglo.com/partners. Can you find it there? I just found it on a tweet. So partners? Yeah, so if you can find there'll be there's like a page on Tranglo's website where you can just literally comes up, all their partners are there. It says like 1,300 countries or whatever.
I'm gonna pull it up right now. I'm gonna type in Tranglo and then partners.
Yeah, the way you can definitely find it is if you go on Crypto Aries tweet. That's partnership. Yeah, that's it. This is it. When this loads,
Alipay,
Alipay, and then bottom right.
AIS. I mean, remember them?
WeChat Pay.
WeChat.
That's mad. And then now have a look now at Chinese remittance market and look at Alipay and WeChat Pay. 93% of the Chinese remittances at $27 trillion a year payments.
It's amazing.
It's mad. It's mad, bro. That is mad. That blew my mind. Yeah. If you put like AliChat and WeChat Pay, yeah, this is it. That could be it. I don't know. Somewhere around here.
WeChat.
Yeah, and then put payment market in China or whatever, and it will talk about it. It tells you like how much the payments in China
are. These are the forecast for how many people using it.
Combined number of nearly 2.5 billion users by 2025. Is that what it says? Because like 1.4 billion people, isn't there, in China? I think.
Yeah.
See if I can find the article.
I can't find
quick time.
Where?
I sent it to my group chat this morning, but just with my friends.
Yeah, $27 trillion market.
Yeah, and they take a 93% stake. This is the one.
And then together they hold 90 to 95% of the market.
Yeah, 39%.
This is back in 2020, so it's only gonna get bigger.
Yeah, exactly. 39% for WeChat, 55% for Alipay.
Yeah.
So 94%.
55% Alipay, 39% WeChat.
That's crazy, isn't it?
And this is how you research, you guys. Everyone watching or listening, this is how you research.
Yeah, that's flipping mad. $27 trillion a year.
It's huge. That money is just gonna flow. Like that's the thing about I said before. I was like, XRP is gonna be utilized, and in 5 years, people won't even know that's being used. You won't even know. Exactly. You won't even know XRP is being used for all these transactions. And I was watching a video, Brad Garhouse was saying that they obviously eliminate the problem of people saying, "Oh, XRP is too volatile," because you want to send $1 million to somebody, it's not going to be $1 million when it gets to them because of the volatility. I'm like, but that's why XRP, this technology, was able to do that within 4 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no worry about volatility.
He talks about volatility instant. Risk of holding capital for like 3 to 5 days, doesn't he?
Yeah. And he was talking about it on this interview, talking about how they removed the problem of the obviously the on-demand liquidity, but being able to transfer the money seamlessly. When that's what people were saying. Oh, XRP needs to be a stable coin.
I think I actually do think that it might need to be, but just not like at $1. It wouldn't work. It needs to be a way higher price.
This is what I was thinking. All right.
So
this is this is how my brain like kind of puts it together, right? So a stable coin, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say we're in a $27 trillion market for Ripple, right? Ripple's like the Swift of dystopian world where Swift is now Ripple. Swift got crumbled, right? And XRP is like, all right, we're a stable coin now because apparently this is the argument that people have that XRP needs to be a stable coin. So we're going to be a stable coin. You have a company that brings in $50 trillion a year, and I have a company that brings in $20 trillion a year. And you're letting me alone. Like, hey, I'm going to send John $1 trillion. You need to have minted how many coins? $1 trillion worth of coins to send that to me. Obviously, I know the price is stable, but at the same time, what's happening to the US dollar and the dollars around the world? It's getting inflated. It's the same problem, just digitally now. You're creating, and Tether has been having to produce more tokens to supply the demand of people using Tether, the USDT. It's going to be the same problem, which is inflationary, the inflation of the tokens being minted to handle the volume of money being moved. Obviously, when you transfer the money and then you switch it over and then you swap it to whatever you want or whatever, but those tokens are now minted and existed on. So it's just creating more and more and more volume of the token. Whereas XRP, obviously the amount is already pre-mined, the 100 billion that's already there. If XRP is $100 for one token, the amount of XRP tokens required to move that $1 trillion is going to be less, and it's going to be instant. And that's how my brain is working. I'm like, oh, it's controlled inflation because the higher the price of XRP, the less amount of XRP tokens is required to move that amount of money. So whereas I'm throwing random numbers, $1 trillion would take 1 trillion tokens if it was $1. But if XRP was $10, it's less than 1 trillion tokens. It's like a billion tokens or whatever. You know what I mean? So that's how I'm thinking. I don't know how crazy it sounds, but it makes sense. I'm like, theoretically, it sounds stupid to a lot of people. That's why a $10,000 XRP actually makes sense, because it's not going to require that many tokens, and it can be enough tokens to supply the worldwide use case of it, whoever's using XRP. The underlying technology. I know it sounds kind of crazy. I don't know. What do you think about that? Have you ever thought about it that way?
I've got an extra twist on that for you that I've been really like diving into a little bit recently. So imagine like Binance coin, like BNB.
Yes.
That's an exchange token for the exchange Binance. And that's run up to like what, $600 a token? Yep. But what does it do?
You said what? Binance?
Yeah, what does it do? What does BNB do? Literally, what, like, just in a short response, what does it do? It's an exchange token. It doesn't do anything.
Yes. It's just the middleman for swapping tokens to whatever you want, right?
Exactly. And it gives you like access to like maybe cheaper like taker deals on the website. It might give you access. I think it gives you like cheaper travel in Asia because they've got some partners over there. It gives you a few little things to incentivize you to use the Binance token over like USDT into something else. It gives. And so for Binance themselves, they've created something to endorse their platform that you've bought that's then gone up in value and given them a ridiculous market cap because everyone's bought it just because essentially all they do is like the platform they use it. And like if I'm going to use Binance, I use Binance tokens, so I get a discount on the platform that they've created.
Yeah. And Avalanche and Luna, there's like so many.
Exactly. Yeah. But think about what XRP and Ripple are trying to do. And this is the one where like I really try and like I've been trying to get this out. I don't know if I explained it very well at the minute, but if you think that the XRP ledger in itself is a decentralized exchange, so that means you can trade value on there. It doesn't matter what the value is.
Yes.
You can trade that value from one place to another. It could be gold into anything you want, like into a Tesla stock, into the dollar, into Bitcoin, into whatever you want, all at the same time. So you can do all that on the XRP ledger. So if you think of the XRP as a token of that exchange, and what you're bringing onto the exchange at the minute with ODL corridors are literally different countries, like almost their circulating supply of dollars. Any amount of their dollars or whatever the reserve currency is at the minute is coming onto that exchange and can be used through the XRP token as an exchange token to transfer into any other dollar at the minute is the way we're looking at it. But then you start bringing on other things. So Ripple got Liquidity Hub coming in a minute or like coming soon. And that's going to be like they call it an aggregator that goes on top of any other crypto platform. So then we've not only got dollars now, we've also got crypto on this exchange. Like they're using the Ripple's XRP ledger to like oversight other exchanges, find the best prices. So you've got all the dollars from all these countries coming onto the exchange, all the different cryptos coming onto the exchange.
NFTs.
As soon as you start mashing together, NFTs, we're going to have other things coming on there. So we're going to see Russia, for example, accept Bitcoin for natural gas payments.
And it's slow. Bitcoin is slow.
100%.
Bad for the environment.
The environment.
Yeah, they're trying to legalize mining over there. It's bad. You know. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's good, bro. And then you see like China like trying to exchange in oil like to digital yuan now. So all these things are like pointing towards the weakening of the dollar, but they all still need a network, a network of exchange. Sorry, my voice is going. Not feeling very well. They all still need a network of exchange. And if these networks are being built where there's already all the access to crypto, which is going to be the new thing, like everyone's talking about it financially. And then you've got all these countries with like hard to reach remittance corridors are all on there as well. That's automatic liquidity to those countries and automatic liquidity to those crypto exchanges. All you need to start doing is mixing in some commodities in there. And why do you need to go anywhere else when you've already got an inbuilt exchange and token all on there from a country, by the way, who automatically run the world reserve currency? This company Ripple is based in there, and they still own half the circulating supply.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's not released to the market. So right now, XRP is technically a token that has 50 billion in supply, roughly 47 or something, 50 billion. I just say 50 billion. That's its true overall supply right now, because the other half is in escrow or whatever.
Correct. Yeah.
What you're saying, everything you're saying, that is where the volume is coming from.
And that's where it's going to increase.
It's more not just payment systems.
No, it's going to be everything, and that's where how you get to these like mad numbers for XRP. And people say that it's like conspiracy. I don't like. Yeah, I don't like to look up there. I don't like to look up there. I really don't, because
people don't want to listen to what you just said, brother. Like I was like infatuated. Oh yes, because we get it though. You know, a lot of people don't want to hear it. They think that you're just making excuses, or you're just like, oh, I don't get. It's a rabbit hole. It's too much to where people know. They look at basic tokenomics and they're like, oh, XRP being $100 is going to be this much market cap. I'm like, no, like the end goal of Ripple and XRP is bigger than what we even know right now. We're still so early. It's bigger than what we can ever fathom.
100%. The market cap in this case doesn't matter, because it's not, you're not assessing it the way that you would assess a normal like structured company. That's not what you're trying to assess. All we're trying to do here, and what Ripple are trying to do, they even say it, is like they're just trying to build like a network for the world to run on. Like at some point, we know we're going to change to CBDCs. We know we're having that implementation come through. Are we going to get Bitcoin as some kind of reserve currency? Like people going to start accepting it? If yes, great. Like there's still going to be need to be a network to be on and off of Bitcoin. You're going to need to plug the networks together. Where the CBDC is going to run, they're still going to have to plug into some.
Quant comes into the picture too.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to have these different like networks that are going to relay information to each other. But if you've already got one that's plugged into, at the minute, 22 different illiquid countries, and then there's going to be an overledger to, not an overledger, but an overlay or aggregator to different crypto exchanges, and crypto's up and coming in the financial world with CBDCs, and then you've got countries that people can't get access to anyway. Where else are you going to plug things? Why wouldn't you plug other extra things into there? It just makes sense.
It's insane, because people don't want to go a deep dive into, the ones that don't believe in XRP don't want to get into falling into this rabbit hole, because once you get in, you're not going to get out. And Coach V is one of the ones that made me go, keep paying attention, keep researching, keep going. And you too. So it's for me to like see how, speaking to you directly about it, and I'm like, oh, I'm not crazy. Even though like I am trying so hard to like not be a super XRP in your face, even though my content's like that, but it's just for the family, for people that actually like it. What you're saying is just like, that's it, bro. Like we're so blessed to be able to be in the forefront of this technology that's going to overtake everything. And
go on.
No, and I'll say Bitcoin is yes, we'll accept Bitcoin as a means of currency, right? But the technology difference between them and Ripple is just bar none.
Yeah, and you've also got to think like, and this means a lot in legacy finance, that Ripple have been about. They're in with the banks, like, you know, that image that you say circulates a lot, and it's important because that's how legacy finance structures are created. Like they're created by people networking. You've got to trust the system, just the same way. Like this is the similarity in the comparison that I draw to Binance Coin, BNB. You're not going to go out there and buy BNB token if you've never used Binance before and you don't like the network. If you start using Binance as an exchange and you think it's crap, you're not going to buy the Binance coin. But if Binance said, okay, come and use our platform, we'll give you some free Binance coin to trade with to show you how good our fees are, like all this sort of stuff. That's what Ripple are doing with banks. That is what they're doing with banks. They're doing it with countries and they're doing it with banks.
Try it out.
That's what people don't understand. Exactly.
And they love it. They all love it.
Yeah, hop on our ODL system. Hop on our ODL system. Save yourself 99% in cross-border remittances. Yeah, exactly.
I was reading articles. They're like, we love it. With China and Singapore, like, oh, we love it.
Bro. And you go down this rabbit hole and it gets deeper and deeper because then you go, okay, well, what's the next step? It's CBDCs. All right, well, what
builds your CBDCs? The Digital Pound Foundation.
Exactly.
Ripple is a part of.
Ripple back before that, bro.
There with Quan and Algorand. They're there. XTC. They're all together. Everyone. But like the Digital Pound Foundation, that's the first taste of these powerful crypto networks working together. That's just a taste. Quant, Ripple, Algorand, XTC. What else was there? Was it not Consensus? There was something else. I forgot what it was.
AVAX is on there.
AVAX. I love AVAX. Yeah. One of my favorite blockchains, layer ones. They're all working together. Like, what do you think about that? Like, that's just the first. There's gonna be multiple, right?
Yeah, like I think that's important. I do. I think that's important, and like we've seen, there's another one recently, isn't there? The Euro Foundation, something like that. The Euro Association, Ripple's on that as well. Like, this is what I mean. They build the infrastructure for things. They push out like the infrastructure and give it out for free. Like, this is what I was going to touch on a second ago. Is they're like Ubri Foundation, which is their like university like investment portfolio thing. They go around to different countries like the Middle East, and they fund universities to explore CBDCs, and then they've got a private ledger for them to do that on as well. So like they gave a $50 million donation to MIT back in like 2016.
Wow.
And MIT have come up with the first digital dollar proposal. So it's like, this is how deep it goes. Like where does the line end?
MIT.
Yeah, Gary Gensler was there when Ripple gave the 50 million donation to MIT, and Gary Gensler was working on cryptocurrency. It's mad. It's all mad. And then you've got another thing linking to the Middle East is like you've got like Lulu Exchange with like
Saudi
Egypt.
Arabia.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia, like one of their biggest banks. Like is happening. Like they're a Ripple partner now. Specifically,
they're in the documents. Ripple XRP, like it's in the documents. Their little white paper, I call it, but it's like a little. I made a video about it. I was like, Ripple, we love Ripple. They basically love Ripple.
Yeah, 100%. And then we saw yesterday or the day before, I can't remember what his name was, but a Cambridge University professor went on to Real Vision, which is Raoul Pal's like economic show, and he said that the stance on cryptocurrency in the Middle East has changed almost overnight with the invasion of Russia. And when you've already got a company like Ripple who are in and about helping them with like banking, this sort of thing, like I know you can hate XRP. I can understand why people can see like what they can see and say that it's centralized because they haven't got the clear picture. If you look into it and you see in these sorts of things, like either I'm insane, or it's just slapping you in the face that like they're going to be involved.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's crazy.
And I might be slightly insane, but like I don't think I'm that.
But I mean, 10 years ago, I'd say 2012. 10 years ago, or even 7-8 years ago, 2016, like when you found Bitcoin, etc. Imagine telling people around you, if you went back from the future today to back then, and telling people, "Hey, Bitcoin is going to be El Salvador's currency. All the greatest, richest investors of all time are going to move into Bitcoin and use it as a hedge against inflation, and Bitcoin's going to replace, and then talk about all these other cryptos." People would be like, "What the heck are you talking about?" Like, they would laugh. They would laugh or think you're crazy.
Yeah, and something mad is that I didn't really mention earlier.
Rich people are gonna drool over Bitcoin.
100%. Like me and my friend, so throughout COVID, we were like locked down, and every Friday we used to go for a walk, like me and my mate. And I was talking to him about this when I first like started looking back into crypto, and he was like, "Why?" He was like to me, "Oh, you need to start talking about like some of these predictions and that you're happening." And everything we talked about that I used to say was like speculative. I kept out of my videos, so I just wanted to keep them factual. that's like happening. I was like, oh, imagine if a country starts using Bitcoin. Imagine if a central bank starts holding Bitcoin. Imagine if like central banks start trading a digital currency and we use XRP as a cross-border bridge asset for that. And then all these things are like starting to unravel in front of your eyes, like they are. And it's just madness. It feels like I live in like a parallel universe.
Oh, and you're like watching it from like a third person view.
Yeah.
Especially
like
with your
content
it
in my head, bro.
Because you're watching yourself talk about it when you watch your old content.
It's
you're
crazy.
Like, wait a minute, bro. That's why it's like I'm at the point where it's like, hey, if you want to get on the train, great. I'll see you on there. If not, a wave. Hopefully, you're able to catch a different type of train. You know what I mean? I just don't get stuck on the island or whatever. Just get on a train. You may not be on the cool XRP train, but it's okay. You can get on a different train. But if not, some people don't even want to get on the train in general. Like, I'm staying. But it's like, all right.
I just want to make something clear though before we go too far away from this. I want to make something clear that like I don't necessarily believe that XRP is going to be like the only thing.
Exactly.
It's not going to be the big thing. I don't know that. But what I do know is what I've seen, and from what I've seen, it's going to be involved. And if it's involved at like, we're in a $2 trillion asset class here, and you've got to listen to people with a lot of experience in the markets, like Raoul Pal, who believes that we'll see 200 to 300 trillion because it'll engulf everything. That's what he thinks. So if they're even 50% right, we're 100 trillion market asset class. And like if XRP just manages to stay in the top 10 to that point, we don't know what sort of technology is going to come out. We don't. Some amazing things might happen in this time. But if it can stay in the top 10 as a payment facilitator, at least until we take a step onto something else, then you're going to be in a great position. You're going to be in a great position. And that's the way I think about it to myself. That's how I justify it. Like, and if it is something that is more than that, that's amazing. I'm already in the asset. But if it's just something that keeps up, then I'm already sorted anyway.
Yeah. That's it. Just like you said, it has to just, even if it does 20% of what they're saying. And that's why I wanted to show you. I'm pretty sure you've looked this up before too, but I can't find it for some reason. I can't. Hold on. It's the trajectory of stocks. Like US stocks or stocks in general over time, over the history of time. And I wanted to show the chart of it. And I can't find it. I used to have a bookmark. Okay, there we go. So right now we're at 93 trillion in 2020. I don't know what 2021's is. I think in 2021 we hit 100 trillion. But from 1975 we're at 1 trillion.
Wow.
But that was before. Well, we got off the gold standard in 1971 in the US, but obviously innovation wasn't around yet. There wasn't tech companies. There wasn't social media companies. There wasn't, you know what I mean? The music industry, the acting world, all that stuff. So over time, obviously, like 1.1 trillion, and over time it just goes up. This is where we are right now. 1980. We're in the 1980s era of the stock market. We're at a 2 trillion market, but money is moving way faster than it ever has in history. And then look, 2 trillion over time, 11 trillion, 1989. In 10 years, it went up $10 trillion.
Yeah, and you can see how that switch will happen over time, so fast.
Big crash, so 2002.
Crypto too.
Yep, just like Bitcoin.
It'll happen faster because like a very basic level, all we're doing is creating a new way to transfer value.
Going up.
Stocks and shares of value. They can just, as soon as we get the right infrastructure to implement anything that's valuable, then that will happen. Exactly that.
This is where we are right now.
Over the period of like 5-10 years, if we get the infrastructure right.
Yep. And
it would just be an explosion because it's just like a new network for it to run on. That's all it is. Yeah.
It's crazy. This is where we are. We're early. Look, this is where we are when it comes to crypto. And the thing that I try to preach to people is the only way we get from here to here is if they take it serious. And what are they doing now? They're scrambling, trying to what? Figure out regulation. They're scrambling, trying to figure out taxes. They're scrambling, trying to put it into laws. They're taking it serious, and that's all we needed to see. And that wasn't around in 2016, 2015, 2018. It wasn't really around. It was a tin hat thing. If you were in crypto, you were a tin hat.
I was one of those people. I didn't even believe that it would be a thing. I was like, oh yeah, internet money, yeah, good one. It's just gonna be for drugs.
Is that backed by anything? Like,
it's just made up. Yeah, that's what I was like, bro.
And
that's what I was like.
Now you see it all over the internet, all over TV, Super Bowl, like sporting events, soccer, global sporting events using crypto, NFTs, the technology. It's being taken serious now, and that's all we 100%. Needed. That's all we needed to see.
Bro, all you need to see, there's one thing that all we've needed for these past however many years, and this is why I was so excited when this happened, the executive order from Joe Biden talking about CBDCs and exploring digital currencies. That's the world reserve currency.
To look at it.
Yeah, they're saying, okay, we recognize this as an asset class now, and it's coming, and we're going to create some kind of like some kind of boundaries for that to work within,
taxes,
like regulations.
We're gonna put it in,
but that just cements it. That's it. That's it. That's all we needed. That's from there. It doesn't matter whether it goes up or down in the short term. They've just cemented it as an asset class. It's up
over time.
It's not speculation anymore. It's going to be part of it. It's mad. It's mad,
brother.
It gives me tingles like thinking about it.
Right now, I'm getting like the goosebumps. I'm like, yo,
yes, bro.
Like it's like I can't believe like. I felt like, oh man, I wish I paid attention 10 years ago. I wish I paid attention 3 years ago. I wish I paid attention 2 years ago, like 2.5 years ago, fully like how I am now. And it's like we're still early enough to where, the more you stay into it, the more you build yourself. You make yourself to the point where it's inevitably where your life, your family's life, moving forward, your generations, is solidified because we're in it early enough to where you're in the right ones, and you respect the space and you do your research and everything like that, you'll be fine. Because over time, it's going to become what we all agree that it's going to become $100 trillion market. You know, 50 trillion, even 10 trillion. Give us a $10 trillion market. I want to see what Bitcoin is at $10 trillion.
It sounds ridiculous though, because you put those numbers out there and they're like, oh yeah, 100 trillion. It's like, yeah, how can it be? Because then Bitcoin's going to be like fucking 50 million a token or whatever. And it sounds mad. But will Bitcoin take that market cap? Probably not. But
it'll be like 30% dominance, 35% dominance.
All it is though is just a different way to pay. That's all it is.
It is, yeah.
And then everyone's like, in the UK at least, I don't know what it's like over there in the US. Everyone's like, yeah, but we're still going to use the pound. I'm like, yeah, you are going to use the pound, but it isn't going to be the way you use it right now.
It's going to be digitalized, tokenized.
Yeah, and you're going to need a different way to transfer that.
Show them the Digital Pound Foundation. Literally, it's called Digital Pound.
Yeah, but you can't because people are in that phase that you were in 3 years ago.
Yeah,
that's the issue.
Yeah,
it's all like cyclical, even with human like adoption. Like 3 years ago, you're saying, oh, it doesn't have any substance. There's still the majority of people are like that now. What, 3%? How many people in the world are in crypto?
Oh yeah, it doubled since actually like 350 million.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'll just put how many people are.
Oh, bro, I'm gonna have to run for a wee. Do you mind? That's for it. Just gonna go to the toilet quickly. Yeah. I'll be back in 1 sec.
All right, he's back, you guys. That was cool. You guys didn't even know what I did, but I paused it, so it was like. But where we picked up off of where we left off was right here. Crypto.com did the report of. July of 2021, we're at 228 global crypto users, and then by the end of that year, December of 2021, we got 295 million. Obviously, 2022 just started. I don't know if they have they're probably gonna do one at the end of the first quarter or first half of the year. They'll have a new updated list for 2022, but I think we're over 295 now globally.
Oh, really?
I think we are. I think because we're at 290. We ended the year on 295. 2021 285.
Do you reckon we're back above that now?
Yeah, I think we're above 295 million. And it says right here, it says if the total users can reach even 500 million by June of 2022.
What?
Global crypto users.
Double for between now and June.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
500 million.
Yeah, definitely possible.
And they said it depends on Russia and other countries if they ban crypto. And Russia's starting to reverse it and say, oh, no, we're going to legalize mining. We're going to accept Bitcoin for oil and fuel. Like, we're going to get there. I think we're gonna get there because
I think we could get there, bro.
yeah, 500 million. And look at the market cap of. Oh wait, I pulled it up right here. This is the crypto market cap of I think when CoinMarketCap launched it, July 2013.
Yeah,
we're barely, look at this. We're like nowhere near the potential of what we're going to see. See, this is 27 billion, 25 billion. And then when we hit a trillion with 700 billion, we didn't even hit a trillion yet, right? Not until 2021, I believe. Right there.
I'm not sure.
2021 was when we hit a trillion. That was like historic. That was the Dogecoin awakening that brought so many people in. You know?
Yeah, I remember that.
And then we had a big crash, and then I think we're getting ready to go up to that up here part. And then we'll have another crash. Then we'll have another, you know what I mean? It's gonna go up, the crash a little bit up, and over time, it's linear if you're or whatever. If you look at it long term, if you scale out,
that's all you got to do, man. That's all you got to do. Like, just look at it long term.
Just zoom out. But yeah, before we go, I want to say ask a question like, what do you have advice for any new crypto investors, and then for new content creators that want to create content about crypto? What do you have to say to them? You know, based on your journey and everything.
Based on my journey, so new investors, don't put any money into the space until you've done some research and understand what you're investing into. Like, a load of people come and the first thing I ever see, even as a content creator, is, hey man, where should I put $500?
Yeah.
If you've got to ask me that question, you don't understand enough about the space to be investing in it. You shouldn't be, because you're probably going to lose that money. Like, that's what I'd say. Like, knowledge at this point is just as like worthwhile, valuable as any capital you can put into the market. If you put capital into the market and it goes up in value, you're lucky. But do you even cash it out? Probably not, because you don't know where you're even going to take profit. So you're probably going to end up losing whatever money you put in, even if you initially jump on a hype train, unless you're lucky and do cash it out and don't come back into the market. So knowledge is the most important thing. And to learn, you got a great website open there, CoinMarketCap. Go through the top 10 to 20 cryptos, understand what they are, but fundamentally understand Bitcoin. Bitcoin is like the foundation to other cryptos. It doesn't do as much as most cryptos do, but it has, if you learn about Bitcoin, that'll give you a lesson that can help you in every other crypto that you use, because it's the first real movement of value, like the first real value exchange. So it's very important to learn about. And then after that, find whatever you like the most. Like, research into stuff. It's such an early space, it's very subjective. And do some research and have a look what sort of partnerships like your cryptos have got, but also consider time in the market. Something that I would consider, like, how long has it been there for, what's its longevity, and then have a look at the difference between like the top 100 now and the top 100 in 2017, just to give yourself an idea of why time in the market is important. And then anyone who's going on to start the content creation journey, only start it because you enjoy what you're doing. And be authentic to yourself. Anyone who starts a content creation journey who's doing it to try and become a big content creator, it's not going to be there for like a long time. Like, motivationally, you'll have peaks and troughs, and it's hard. But as long as you enjoy what you're doing, you do it for you and not for anything else, then you should be fine.
That's beautifully said. Wow, that's. I'm going to like use that advice because it's like, man, it's true. It's be authentically you. It sounds so cliche, but be authentically you, and don't worry about becoming something. Just be you, and whatever you are will be what it is. It sounds so funny, but don't be somebody, right? Don't just be you, I guess.
Yeah, actually, I want to add one thing to that I really try and do, and sometimes this makes me stressed, so don't get stressed by it. just try and improve every day.
Yeah.
Whether that's content creation, or whether that's your knowledge base, or whatever it is. And also, this is a thing that I've really tried to take more into consideration recently through like Ray Dalio, his principles of success. But take into consideration people with opposing views to yours, as long as they're educated. Listen to why people have that view, and then that will give you a more formulated opinion.
Yeah.
But it will also tell you what the truth is, and the truth's the most important thing. It's not whether your opinion's right or their opinion's right. It's all about what, like, truth.
Wow. Whether or not their opinion's right or yours are right, the truth is what people want to hear and will gravitate towards.
And truth is what's right, and that's what will make you money long term. Like you can have a really even in investment specifically, you can be so set on something, but you might not be seeing it from a different perspective. You look at it from the opposite perspective, and you might realize, okay, I wasn't exactly right with what I was thinking, but I was pretty close. And that's where the actual thing is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's where, go down that path.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on to the podcast. I know you're feeling under the weather, and I'm so thankful for you to wanting to be on here and talk about XRP, crypto, content creation. I know that the listeners and the viewers are gonna love it. This is gonna be a great video. I think it's gonna do really well. Once again, thank you, brother, for coming on. All the way from the UK. I love crypto. I love technology that we can do this. 100%. You know, it's a beautiful thing.
I just want to say thank you for having me on. I'm sorry that I've been a bit like flat. I feel a bit flat. Like I don't feel that well. I'll come on again when I feel a bit more lively. But yeah, if you send me some clips of this, I'll post on my channel. Yeah,
I'll cut it up today and send you some tonight.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. Enjoyed talking to you. And as I said, like I'm sorry about being a bit.
No, you did. It was amazing. All right, guys. We'll see you guys in the next podcast, next video.
Peace.
Peace.